Hey, what's up guys? So if you take a look through my Instagram, you might notice this brother only draws portraits, okay? Not a single environment piece to be seen. For literally years. If you're also a little pecker peeker, you might also notice that I don't really draw men that often. but we don't need to talk about that, okay? This video is actually going to be about how drawing only portraits for 2 full years actually boosted my art level and art ability more than any other period of progression in my life. And you can fact check on the Instagrams if you don't believe me. And the speed paint you'll be seeing in the background is just going to be a close-up portrait just flexing on y'all, showing you how good I got at them. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't just wake up one day and decide, you know what would be hilarious? Is if I draw portraits for 2 years. Wouldn't that be so funny? Wouldn't that be so quirky? No, it just sort of happened, right? Through my determination to get better, I knew that I had to draw a lot. But to do that without burning out, I made everything about drawing easier for myself. And by that I mean, I drowned in painting reference studies. Drown in it! Didn't know how to draw a side profile? Reference study. Don't know what to draw that day? Reference study. This way all the stress that comes with planning a drawing went kaput, and then I was actually able to draw, and a lot. I mean, just look at the output I had. November 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Oh my god, this is insane. That was insane. Like, damn, bro, those are MVP numbers right there. Now, it's important to note that I've actually been drawing for years before I started only doing portraits. I drew as a kid, obviously, and then in high school, I was kind of still just chilling, but a little bit more serious. And then in 2020, in my junior year, I really started to take art seriously. Then, in around a year and a half from that point, I started my portraits only thing. So basically, I had like one and a half, maybe 2 serious art years. And as you can see, the progress was there for sure. But the skill jumps in the past 2 years just put the pre-portrait years to shame. Piss on to your family. And hey, if you're like a beginner, fresh out the womb, can't draw stick figure level, maybe you should, practice just drawing what you see from reference or just from in real life. But why portraits, you might ask? Because that's what I like to draw. I'm a human, you're a human. I like human, I draw human, okay? It's simple as that. And you know what? It helped prevent me from burning out, sticking to my comfort zone and minimizing the pain zone. Oh, but do not be fooled, okay? The pain zone is very, very real, and learning is pain. So, unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, you're still gonna stress and smell when you're in the thick of it. Through the years, I'm learning to render, hard edges, soft edges, lighting. All the fundamentals are here in the portrait, right? And I know as well, fundamentals are stinky. The thing is, though, most of the fundamentals can be carried throughout all subject matter. As you can see, I started doing a little more complex backgrounds, messing with different lighting scenarios. Like, this background is nothing to scoff at. But compared to this now, like, you can just see how the smaller instances and improvements build up to where I am today. And that's the important thing to remember while you do these reference studies, is that, you need to push yourself, okay? Your comfort zone is portraits, okay? We get it. But if you keep rendering at like a super simple and at the basic level, your progress will be extremely slow. That's why I recommend to start rendering semi-realistically, because every time you go into that rendering stage, it's gonna be a struggle, okay? And the struggle is good, okay? I know it sounds like I need help, like I need an intervention for glorifying pain, but trust me, going through that pain means that you are improving. And now, because I started to get decent at portraits, I could start to apply that sweet knowledge upon other aspects of my art. May 16th, many months ago, okay? You can just see how much I've improved since before then. Look at the surface of the car. Look at the shadows, okay? And then the car trim. The reflection of the arm. Look at this door panel. To this day, I'm still impressed by that. I'm not gonna lie. Was there any car in any of my previous portraits? No. But I painted jewelry before, I've rendered shiny skin before, and I've gotten a general knowledge that I could transfer, capital T transfer, my skills onto the car. Because of the sheer amount of repetition that I did, I'm comfortable enough to transfer those skills without it turning into like a horrible mess. And to praise myself a little, in my opinion, it doesn't look like it was the first time I drew a car in recent memory, right? A tide raises all ships and whatnot, whatever the quote is. So simplification and outlining things is a part of my style, and as you can see, it made it on to the leaves, okay? Even though I'm used to drawing faces. And that's because, now say it with me, we can capital T transfer our rendering skills to all aspects of art. And now on my timeline, you can see how there's not just plain backgrounds for these portraits. The portrait still takes like 80% of the image, but that 20% of the background isn't just a blue sky with clouds, okay? It isn't just a solid color. There's leaves, fences, buildings too, okay? So stick to your comfort zone, but you gotta creep near the edges. You gotta stay in the outskirts, and then you keep pushing the edge of your comfort zone more and more, slowly but surely. And it's very important to have an inner monologue telling you, hey, that ain't rendered out enough, or hey, the reference doesn't look like that, fix it. Otherwise, you know, your progress will still be slow, even though you're doing reference studies. I like to think of what I did as like a video game, right, where you have your main skill meters, like health and attack, and then you have your less important skills like elemental, luck, range. Okay, what I did was I just basically maxed out my health and attack, which made beating enemies way easier, and then when I needed it, I'd spend like a single skill point on like range or something when I faced an enemy that needed my bow and arrow weapon. That might have been too many gamer words, but I think I'll get the gist. Which brings us to the present, where you can now see a lot more confidence and in all aspects of my art. Rendering and colors received a major buff in this patch. I mean, textures are looking way better, and then the backgrounds are looking way better. Now I also have variance in my style and in what I draw, which is huge. It makes things less boring, right? Like this royalty girl painting has a very different vibe to this tree lady painting. I need to work on my naming because that is shambolic. Anyways, right, my portrait comfort zone has expanded so much that I can tackle on people in the savannah, to the forest, to the Fire Lord's throne room, to freaking bloody Hogwarts. And now I'm experimenting more than ever with how I render stuff, how I color stuff, because I can stop worrying about just making the painting look right and making it look great instead. That is a bar. Come on, that's a bar. Comment down, that's a bar. Like, look at the freckles, look at the color variation and experimentation that's going on right now in the speed paint, right? This just wouldn't exist before. It would not. It would be in the nether.
Look at this. We created this. This didn't exist before we were here.
Now, let's get a little bit honest here, okay? Because I've been a little misleading. Honesty hours. The reason that I've improved is not because I only drew portraits, okay? It's because drawing portrait studies kept me coming back and drawing consistently for years and years. But I removed all the obstacles in my way. I removed all the obstacles that prevented me from drawing. The planning stage and then the designing stage. With portrait reference, all I had to do was draw what I saw, okay? Which unlocked that crazy level of consistency I didn't know I had. Like obviously I've cooled down since my prime, but I'm looking at my Instagram upload rate and I'm like, damn, that was me. Posting every day. Crazy. And the reason why I stuck to portraits is because I could keep drawing them till my hands perish from carpal tunnel, okay? I don't mind drawing portraits. Like, it's been 3 years of this, and you'd think I'd actually like puke when I have to draw another one, but I'm actually having more fun than ever. Isn't it cursed how when you start getting good at art, you start enjoying it more? Maybe that's just me though. So maybe you despise portraits, right? And you can't imagine yourself doing them for years and years. Then you'll maybe have to find your little niche that you can find the most enjoyment from. That could just be the sketching and designing process, and you can do that over and over. You do you, boo. But again, the most important thing is removing the obstacles that prevent you from drawing. Like if it's the rendering that zips you out of the art flow, then you'll just have to hop on the photo study grind like me, and then the reference will guide you through that part of the painting. But B-U-double-T, I wholeheartedly believe that portraits train the most amount of fundamentals at once, okay? And that they are the superior method of study over long periods of time than any other subject matter. Portraits train your hand to be very sensitive to very minor anatomical deviations, because even the slightest error will make the whole painting look off, right? Whereas with environments, you can get away with being loosey-goosey. But when you're learning, you want to be as thoughtful and be in control of as many brushstrokes as possible, so that you can build up your mental library and then be confident when you have to draw that thing again. Also, I find that when somebody starts with environments, they might just get lost in the sheer amount of thinking that they gotta do before they even lay pen to paper or pen to tablet in the iPad generation. But if you want to take that route because it's more fun, then it's all Gucci too. I'm totally using the advice cop like, hey, but that's just me. The thing is though, especially for beginners, there's always like a lot of noise of what you gotta learn. Like, oh, I gotta learn anatomy. Oh, I gotta learn rendering, textures, layers, effects. Oh, it's just too much. It's too much. It hurts. It hurts. So just focus on drawing from portrait references, so you can soothe your panicked little art brain. With that said, that is how drawing portraits for 2 years straight leveled up my art. Asterisk, but it wasn't really the portraits, it was the fact that drawing them helped me unlock an insane levels of consistency that I never knew were possible. I'm losing my mind here. Anyways, yeah, I think y'all should give it a go. You know, it doesn't have to be 2 years like a psychopath like me. You could do it for 2 months, 3 months, whatever. But yeah, y'all should give it a go if you really struggle with starting a painting, but you really want to improve your art skills at the same time. It will help you gain focus in your art journey, a set path for you to take, right? Alright? Oh, and I have my Pinterest board linked in the description, filled with whole bunch of portrait references for you to choose from. So boom, another obstacle I removed for your faces. With that said, if you liked the video, you might want to subscribe to my channel. You can also check out my Patreon page for longer art tutorials, brushes, speed paints, walkthroughs, and files. Shout out my Patreons, by the way, love y'all. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. We done.